Two men with their eye on leading Colorado first have to face each other and Kyle Clark. We've got new marijuana competition up north, or maybe they'll just become a friend, as Canada's following our lead on pot laws. Hey, if you see a new winter warning pop up on your phone, don't ignore it. It could save your life. And from quiet and peace to roaring crowds of Broncos fans, a man from small town South Dakota helped out the Orange Crush. There are two men vying for your vote to lead this state. And with 3 weeks to go until Election Day, if ever there was a time to see beyond their carefully crafted talking points, it's now. Tonight, Kyle Clark and Marshall Zellinger are moderating a debate in the race for governor between Republican Walker Stapleton and Democrat Jared Polis at CSU in Fort Collins. That's where Kyle is with a stack of questions and about an hour to go before things get started.
Hi, Anusha. Tonight we go in search of something new. This is the 7th of 8 debates that the two men who want to be your governor are going to have. And I think a lot of debates are a good thing because it allows you to hear a multitude of questions from moderators like me and Marshall Zellinger. And what it also allows is different styles of debates. And what we have heard from Republican Walker Stapleton and Democrat Jared Polis are a lot of the same talking points throughout this campaign. What we haven't heard a ton of are specifics on how they will deliver on some of their key pledges and promises, and we hope tonight we're able to draw a lot out of them in that regard.
You were mentioning that there's going to be some interruptions, and there is purpose behind that.
Absolutely. If anybody tunes in tonight, 7 o'clock from the Laurie Student Center at CSU, the 9 News debate on Channel 20 or on 9news.com or on our Facebook page, you are going to hear us interrupt the candidates. And it is not out of disrespect to them. It is out of respect to you as viewers and voters, because you deserve answers to questions. You don't deserve talking points. You don't deserve obfuscation. You deserve clear, concise answers to questions that should be answered by the next governor of Colorado. So I hope you hear interruptions, but more so, I hope you hear some straight talk out of these gentlemen tonight.
All right, we are looking forward to learning a lot. Thanks, Kyle. Going into tonight's debate, Polis is holding a 7-point lead over Stapleton. That's according to pollsters who were also gauging voters late last month and got about the same result. Now, taking a look at the likely voters, this latest poll is giving Polis 47% to Stapleton's 40%. 9% are undecided, and the remaining 4% are supporting the Libertarian candidate. Now, this poll was conducted by Magellan Strategies, which has worked with Republican groups in the past. They did this same survey in September and got the same percentages. After a wave of people came forward accusing some Colorado lawmakers of workplace and sexual harassment, there was some hope, right, that this was going to morph the culture at the Capitol. Well, it pretty much played out in ways that we've seen before and in some ways that we've come to expect. A bipartisan group was formed at the state capitol, and part of their charge was taking a look at protecting a victim's identity. Changes this group could not agree on. The current system is revealing a person's name when they file a complaint, and this committee got caught up in the details on how to strike a balance between confidentiality and giving the person facing a complaint a fair chance to defend themselves. They did, however, agree to some changes, like creating an office to take in accusations, so instead of lawmakers being the first people to receive them, remember who some of these accusations were against, it would be people who were not voted into office. The executive committee will ultimately weigh in on these recommendations and any changes and any possible middle ground. Our next question comes from Robbie Moreland from Fort Collins. She sent us a political mailer and wants to know why it doesn't say who paid for it. That's a great question, Robbie. And for all of these important decisions we're going to be making in the coming weeks, a lack of clarity, that's not a good feeling at all. So for an answer, we reached out to Lynn Bartles with the Colorado Secretary of State's office. She checked for us and found out that the flyer was paid for by the 3 candidates who were featured on it. So here's how that works. In Colorado law, it says that they're not required to put a paid for by statement on it. Same goes for a political committee or the political party. So who does have to tell you? You should see a paid for statement if the statement was sent out by an independent expenditure committee and it costs about $1,000 or more. That kind of committee is known as a dark money committee since it's more difficult to find out who's contributed to it. In Canada, today ushered in a new era of legalized recreational marijuana sales. Whoop-de-doo, right? We've been doing that for years. Who cares? Well, once you finish your eye rolls, there's a connection you might want to pay attention to. With a population of more than 36 million people compared to ours of roughly 5.6, legalization in Canada is an undeniably huge moment in the history of cannabis law. Now, Canada is now one of only 2 countries to follow Colorado's lead in allowing recreational pot. And for business owners in Colorado, this could actually kind of be a double-edged sword. It's opening a mega-sized market to Colorado brands and products through licensing agreements. But on the other hand, Canadians don't necessarily have to come here anymore. But legal sales, though, in Colorado, they keep going up, and that is despite online sales in other states like California, which has an even bigger market than Canada. No matter what school, no matter what age, bullying seems to transcend it all. Now, oftentimes teachers and principals are trying to manage it, but at a school in Golden, an 8th grader decided to take matters into her own hands. She met with our Nelson Garcia.
Once upon a time,
inside the Manning School in Golden, within the musical theater class.
How can I do such a thing? How can I eat her when she's been so kind and generous to me?
8th grader Jasmine Collins
To get back to the beast I once was.
is taking on real-life drama.
All right, let's do it.
She started her own anti-bullying program
And what they'll do is they'll write down one way they can stop bullying.
to get every student in the school to write messages on links
Some other people said treat people the way you'd want to be treated.
that will be chained together and posted in all the hallways.
I was a little nervous to see if the kids were going to do it.
They are doing it,
So
all because Jasmine had an idea. Principal Gina Templeton loves that.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited that she felt empowered to do that, that she felt like she was in an environment that would welcome and encourage her initiative and encourage her courage.
I felt like it was my responsibility because I'm already a natural born leader and I want to make change.
She wants to end bullying.
I like that the messages that she's asking people to write is how they can be a part of the solution.
I've been on both sides actually. In elementary, 4th grade, I kind of was the bully. In 5th grade, I got bullied, which made me realize it wasn't okay to bully.
And I think that's awfully brave of her to admit that.
your punishment is being attractive.
From a real-life drama to a girl trying to find a real-life solution.
I think it works because it makes kids like aware and kind of makes them feel like they're taking a part.
For next, I'm Nelson Garcia.
So Jasmine says the anti-bullying chains will all be up by the end of the week. Just a few weeks ago, she and her friends wrote all by hand 675 notes of encouragement to place on every locker in the school. Small acts of kindness, my gosh, they do go very, very far. We know very well we have ripped this off, but the more you know, the better, and you probably should know this. Scientists are now testing vaccines for one of the most aggressive forms of breast cancer. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, are focusing on 2 types of breast cancer, which are 2 positive and triple negative. That's 2 vaccines, 1 for each, both helping the body's immune system fight these cancers. As his uniform changed, his mission did not. Some remember him as the Montbello mayor, who spent almost half of his life serving people. Those who loved him best are now remembering Jimmy Von Cox, and with their permission tonight, we're celebrating him with you. He was the kind of man that his legend was not the fact that he was one of the first police officers to patrol the streets of Montbello, but that he spent so much time there that he was eventually nicknamed the mayor until he retired in 1994. He was also a U.S. Air Force veteran. His wife, Kay, 4 children, 10 grandkids, and 7 great-grandchildren are remembering him for his sense of humor and his bizarre rhyming skills. Jimmy Von Cox passed away in his North Glen home Sunday at the age of 81. A life of service, laughter, and love. Our thoughts are with him, his family, and his friends.
Get those triceps popping.
Fitness is everything.
I know, my biceps.
To Angela Marquez. She squeezes in a workout every day and always makes time for a gym pic.
Post at PR Fitness Studio,
which is posted to Instagram in no time.
You'll see a lot of workout pictures here.
She isn't showing off.
This was also my cancer anniversary.
She's sharing survival.
I also look at it as I'm alive. because that was 11 years ago that day.
The day Angela learned she had cervical cancer. Doctors removed lymph nodes in her pelvis to save her life.
I survived cancer. I beat cancer, and now I have this.
This is her new battle.
Yes, it is in my left leg.
The left leg is much bigger than the right.
One Olga Belskaya fights too.
It's an ongoing battle.
They both suffer from lymphedema.
It feels heavy.
A debilitating condition.
Oh my goodness.
That lasts a lifetime.
Lymphedema is the abnormal accumulation of protein in the tissues, so the area underneath the skin and above our muscles.
Angela and Olga are treated by Vicki Ralph, a woman who is dedicated to treatment and awareness.
I do about 45 minutes of stretching of the skin.
An occupational therapist at UC Health.
This is short stretch compression bandaging.
Some people are born with lymphedema, but for many, like Olga, the condition is triggered after lymph nodes are surgically removed to treat cancer.
You have kind of, if you will, a mechanical failure of that section of the body.
This chronic condition chips away at her sense of normalcy.
It's full of liquid and your shoes doesn't fit, your clothes doesn't fit, and you just don't want to deal with it anymore.
That's why Angela's Instagram feed,
The Instagram page is Funky Lymphedema.
has a deeper purpose.
That's my leg.
It informs, it inspires
We call it the mini incline.
those who search for answers.
I want to change the image of the pictures maybe that they see when they do Google lymphedema and feel that it's gloom and doom and negative.
I know people don't always believe this, but I'm allowed to speak my mind on this show, and I'm allowed to showcase your thoughtful perspectives, even if the bosses don't agree with them. That really does happen here. That's the strength of Next. It's important to hear things that we disagree with because, lo and behold, we might change our minds. We also want Next to be a reflection of you watching at home. You're smart, funny, and you're unapologetically honest, even when it gets you in trouble. And that's what we hope that the show is as well.
From the sidelines to the front office, get the inside story from the ultimate insider. Broncos Sideline Stories with Jim Sacamano. Saturday nights at 9:30 on Channel 20.
This is the most Colorado thing we saw today. That's not a power outage, it's just mood lighting. Haley Cothran tweeted this from Cerebral Brewing when the lights went out last night in Denver. Excel says around 30,000 customers lost power just around 8:30 in East Denver and Aurora. It was mostly because of a problem at a substation. These guys, though, they didn't care. You don't need light, you just need your intuition to kick in to find the beer in the dark. I heard it's like a sixth sense. That is definitely very, very Colorado.
Anusha, some candles. We'd have a great time, great conversation, put all the technology away. That's pretty cool. Unless it was last Sunday when it was like 23 degrees. You kind of want the heat on. Didn't need the heat today, though. In spite of the cloud cover along the foothills, temperatures today were average. Low 60s in Denver, 65 is the average, and that's a trend that continues, even with this upper air system kind of lifting and shearing apart. The northern and central mountains are not going to see a lot of snow from this system, but the southern mountains could do very well. Not enough that we have winter weather or travel advisories, but there's some beneficial moisture coming into a part of our state that's just been so hard hit by drought conditions. In the meantime, high and mid-level cloud cover will continue to sweep over Colorado from the southwest, and a warming trend will get us into the 70s over the weekend. As a matter of fact, remember last Sunday we were 23, cold and snow. This Sunday we could be 70. Gotta love Colorado weather in October. Mid-30s overnight, mid-60s for your Thursday afternoon. Similar number coming up for Friday. Beautiful heading into the weekend, and maybe some rain showers early next week. Rain in October, not unheard of, but it is a little unusual. And Anusha, how about this great shot coming in from Alex Curse's Evergreen Lake tonight?
All right, absolutely beautiful. Thanks, Kathy. If you see a new winter warning pop up on your phone, it's real, it's important, and it could save your life. Meteorologist Becky Ditchfield tells us what we need to know.
It's called a snow squall warning, and it looks different from a blizzard warning or a winter storm warning. This is going to look similar to a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. It's going to be issued when moderate to heavy snowfall significantly reduces visibility. It only lasts for a short period of time, and it covers a small area. For example, if we got one across southeast Wyoming, it would only cover a few counties, and it would last for less than an hour. Blizzard warnings, totally different. Those must last for at least 3 hours or more. Now, moderate to heavy snowfall, whether you're in a blizzard or a winter storm too, can cause major pileups. That's why the National Weather Service is implementing this. But since most of our moderate to heavy snow in Colorado already happens when we're under blizzard and winter storm warnings, you're not going to see the snow squall warning for our state. You will, however, see it across parts of Wyoming, western Nebraska, and Kansas. So if you're traveling, especially around the holiday season, and you see that snow squall warning pop up on your smartphone, here's what you need to do. Avoid or delay travel. Use extra caution if you absolutely have to be in it. And remember, rapid changes can cause major and deadly accidents.
This one is just impressive for our You've Crossed the Line segment. Except this time, we're not talking about a line. We're talking about a curb. I mean, I'm not the world's best driver, but I usually know if I've hopped the curb and I'm sitting in the bushes. Chris sent us this pic from the parking lot of the Home Depot on 120th and Sheridan. Listen, you can't be perfect at everything, so we're hoping that these guys' home improvement project is going better than this parking job, but it's probably not. If you see someone crossing the line, email us a picture, next at 9 News, or mention us on Twitter with the hashtag #HeyNext.
Think back, Broncos fans. Why'd you start cheering them on in the first place?
I was kind of baffled that I was going to get to haul the quarterback and the wide receiver of the Denver Broncos.
For Milton Hortzman, it's pretty hard to forget. The name of this Denver street can be confusing to say and is the result of a mistake. So what do you say next?
If life was like a t-shirt,
you'll want to just wipe it so you can get a clean start.
The one for David Wyatt would be made out of 100% guilt.
I could be so much further in life right now if I didn't let, my addiction to alcohol get the best of me.
His life ended her life.
But apparently I drove drunk to the liquor store to get more liquor, and I wrecked.
He survived. He found his way to a place called Street to Life. They don't just make t-shirts here, they make a difference in the lives of people like Wyatt.
Homelessness, coming off of drug and alcohol addictions, coming out of prison.
I just like things done right.
Starting with a t-shirt that just might say, regret.
Said I want to do everything right. I don't want to make mistakes.
I aspire to be a writer. New York Times bestseller is the dream.
My dream is to become a marine biologist and to work hands-on with animals.
I dream to travel around the world and be an influential speaker.
I want to be a businesswoman or a doctor.
My goals and aspirations are to make a difference.
My dream is to be an Air Force pilot.
I want to go to med school and I want to be a trauma surgeon.
I always ask my family for world peace for Christmas.
Which one of you is horny?
How did I get here? My mom was horrible and drove me to drink, which led to drugs. Remember me? But I cleaned up my act.
Wish I hadn't spit in his latte.
For that glamorous...
You look like a slutty highlighter.
...single mom life.
Why aren't you wearing pants? I was relaxing.
And now I'm back here, living with my mom.
That changes everything. You deserve a cupcake.
5 nights a week on Channel 20.
No more. It's none of my business.
No more. I'm sure they'll work it out.
No more. It only happened once.
No more. He said he was sorry. No more. Why doesn't she just leave?
No more. Not my problem.
No more. But he has such a bright future.
No more. He didn't mean it. No more bystanding. No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
It's flu season. Protect your family. Find a 9 Health fair near you and get a voucher for a free, convenient flu shot. You can also donate to provide a flu shot for a neighbor in need. Help your community stay healthy. For details, go to 9healthfair.org.
Milton Hortzman grew up in a small town in rural South Dakota where large crowds, screaming fans, not really the norm there. But when he was asked to help out his favorite football team, oh, you bet he stepped up. Our Byron Reed shows us how this fan and his car helped the Orange crush.
It was squealing, the tires were rubbing the fenders.
Milton Horstman loves a good conversation about two things that make him happy.
Model A Ford Phaeton. I like the car, and I like the Broncos. So.
Horstman moved to Denver in the 1950s when he became a fan of the team. He bought and built his car as a hobby about a year later.
About $500 when it was new.
His dedication to both lasted through the 1970s when he was cheering on then quarterback Craig Morton and wide receiver Haven Moses.
Billy Thompson was a favorite, and the M&M connection.
So needless to say, he was surprised when he got a phone call asking if he would take the lead spot in a parade after the Broncos lost the Super Bowl during the 1977 season.
I knew the sergeant that was in charge of the parade, and he called me up and asked me to take the Model A Ford down there. I didn't know who I was going to haul.
Horstman says he was shocked to find out who his passengers were.
They told me that I was going to haul Craig Morton and Haven Moses.
And another he and his wife Verna didn't expect.
A passenger volunteered to get in. So many people that you couldn't even drive. There was people laying all over that car.
He still remembers that day riding with the Broncos in a car that will always remind him of his wife.
And she just died the 19th of August.
All great memories this 85-year-old is more than willing to talk about.
I love them.
For Next, I'm Byron Reed.
Broncos and cars, he just won a lot of hearts here. Horstman can still be seen driving around his Model A around town, says he hasn't missed a Broncos game on TV, plans to cheer them on again tomorrow night. We've heard from a lot of you, right? Street names in Denver, they can be really confusing, including a section west of Broadway. They're all named after Native American tribes from A to Z. So today we're tackling the one that starts with the letter K. It's a street name a lot of us have seen, but it's actually a mistake. So yeah, that just adds a lot to the confusion. Desiree, thank you for asking us. We had no idea what the answer was, so we went to the people that know better than us, the experts of the Denver Public Library, to ask, what do you say?
It's Kalamath is the correct pronunciation. The interesting fact about this one is that it's actually named after the Klamath Indians. So there shouldn't be an A because the Klamath Indians were Klamath. And the story behind this one is that the people making the street names misspelled the name as Kalamath. And so instead of changing all the street signs, they just kept it.
Oh yeah, why fix the mistake when you just create another name? But at least now we know the story about it. Might help us remember how to say the wrong name right. What names in Colorado do you need help pronouncing? Email us suggestions at next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag #HeyNext. It's either silly or just absolutely delightful. We chose to giggle at a sign near the foothills. That and your feedback coming up next.
The Johnsons, 5 nights a week.
How about I give you $100?
No, 200. And you agree not to have any more children.
Okay, that's a decision I have. No.
A traditional family.
I'm here to help.
You're not Mom.
Where's Mom?
And an unconventional comedy.
I think you look good for your age, Dad.
40's not bad, right?
You're only 40? Good Lord, you've lived a hard life.
Weekdays starting at 5 p.m. on Channel 20.
Broncos tonight, Sunday nights at 10:35 on 9 News.
Girls are too much.
Can I have your attention, everyone? That depends. Are you a cat video? Too funny. Here's your fish of the day. That day is last Monday. Too wild. Together. Caroline's got a date tonight.
It's not a joke. I'm really going on a date.
Stop it. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pee.
Two broke girls.
5 nights a week on Channel 20.
On July 20th, 2012, my family's life changed forever.
My brother was one of 12 lives lost.
We We share stories of loss, recovery, and the need for something positive.
The 720 Memorial Foundation is turning this into a garden for our entire community. Join us.
A place for reflection, for finding peace, and for healing.
To keep you and your family safe, it's important to be cautious. Keep your house safe by closing the windows, the main door, and the garage door. Keep your valuables in your car safe by never leaving anything visible. Choose a well-traveled route when taking a walk. And be aware of your surroundings when using an ATM. It's that easy to be safe. It's up to you. And for your safety, you have them to protect and serve you, the Denver Police Department.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny'd been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Oh, it's a sign, all right, that there's a view somewhere along the way of Indiana Street in Arvada. Don't take our word, just look at the sign saying, oh yeah, it's just a hill that's blocking it. Thanks, Elaine Husky, for posting this on Instagram. If you're seeing a sign that we should talk about, email pictures to next@9news.com or get our attention with the Hey Next hashtag. We love hearing from you guys, including from Elizabeth, who said Kyle and Marshall moderating. I don't think I've ever been so excited to see a debate. Neither have we. I think it's going to be great. We'll see you guys next time.